Why is Bitcoin falling? Has Bitcoin even bottomed yet? At what price will Bitcoin actually bottom, and when will that actually happen? I'm going to be answering all of those questions in this video. If you appreciate that, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button as well as subscribe to the channel. All the information here is not my own opinion. It is actually from Gareth Soloway and the information that he shared in an interview on Paul Barron's YouTube channel. Link that video down in the description as well as a pinned comment if you want to watch the full video. Why is Bitcoin falling? Gareth Soloway believes the reason why Bitcoin's price is falling is due to the actions of the Fed trying to get inflation under control. With all of the money printing that happened within the past couple of years due to the pandemic, now with so much money floating in the system, the Fed has been increasing interest rates to try to reduce the amount of money printing and money borrowing. And so just like the stock market, crypto in general, of course, Bitcoin has been dropping significantly in price. And this is all due to the Fed trying to get inflation under control. Has Bitcoin hit its bottom yet? What Garth believes is that Bitcoin has not yet hit its bottom due to a couple of reasons. One being that in past cycles, if we take a look at how much Bitcoin drops from its all-time highs, it's usually at around 84%. At the moment, Bitcoin has only dropped about 70% from its all-time highs, so there is still room to fall. Another indicator that the reason why Garth doesn't believe we have hit its bottom is that the casual investor has not experienced enough pain. Usually a good indicator is when these investors have hit a point where they do not even want to talk about Bitcoin. They do not want to touch Bitcoin, think about Bitcoin. At the moment, investors are still confident about Bitcoin. It's only when these investors eventually become broken, pretty much burn through all of their dry powder, Bitcoin continues to fall and fall. And so there is not enough pain in the markets quite yet. Therefore, he believes that Bitcoin hasn't quite bottomed. The next logical question is, how much and when will Bitcoin actually be when it hit its bottom? And so I'll go ahead and answer that question, but I think what it's important to talk about now is what might Bitcoin do within now to the next couple of months into July, August, and September. What will happen to the price of Bitcoin? So what Garth believes might happen, likely see a bounce in the price of Bitcoin. So how high might Bitcoin bounce to? Garth believes that there is a chance that we may actually hit up to $25,000 in this Bitcoin bounce within the next couple of months. And there is a likely chance that Bitcoin could pass $25,000 and actually get into about the highs of $28,500. That is the point where Garth sees a very strong resistance. So it's unlikely that we will bounce higher than $28,500 within the next couple of months. So expect to see a bounce anywhere from the range of $25,000 to up to about $28,500 within the months of July, August, and September. From that point, heading into towards the end of the year in November or December is what Garth believes to actually be where we might see a bottom in Bitcoin. So from November to December to possibly even January is when we might actually see what Garth believes is the bottom for Bitcoin. So what price will Bitcoin actually bottom at? What Garth believes is that Bitcoin might actually see around a $12,000 Bitcoin. A $12,000 Bitcoin will be the potential of being the bottom for Bitcoin. He obviously says, to cover his tracks, that Bitcoin could potentially go even lower than $12,000, but at the bottom, he is aiming for around $12,000 as the bottom for Bitcoin. And his strategy is it's a good time to buy anywhere between $20,000 to $12,000. If it goes below, obviously it's an even better time, but buying in the range of $12,000 to $20,000 will be the strategy going into it towards the end of this year into November, December, and then early into 2023. So the next major question is, how do we actually enter into Bitcoin as it reaches this range of $12,000 to $20,000 from the months of November to December and then into into January of 2023. So what Garth's strategy is he has allocated a certain amount of money that he wants to put into Bitcoin, and he is going to divide that allocation number into 6 different entry points as it reaches the range of $12,000 to $20,000. So what Garth says he's going to do is if Bitcoin hits about $19,000, that is when he is going to make his first entry point, and he's going to have another 5 more after that. If Bitcoin drops another $2,500 to $3,000, he is going to make another entry point. As Bitcoin continues to drop more than $25,000 to $3,000, he's going to constantly make another entry point, 6 times going all the way down to $12,000 and leaving a little bit of money left over if Bitcoin drops below $12,000. And so that will be the strategy going into making entry points for Bitcoin. Garth calls this the shotgun strategy, or it's kind of just like dollar cost averaging, because at the end of the day, we honestly never know when the bottom will actually be. And so if we put all our eggs into a certain entry point and Bitcoin continues to fall even below that, we have then no money left over to buy that even lower price. And so it's very important to constantly set a certain amount of money as Bitcoin continues to fall, hopefully bottoming out at around $12,000. Buying in the range of $12,000 to $20,000 is a great entry point and accumulation for Bitcoin. So what happens now? What happens when we have bought and accumulated all the Bitcoin? When will Bitcoin actually begin to start rallying up again and reaching its all-time highs? He wants to see the Fed pivot. So instead of constantly increasing rates as they have been, he wants to see rates stay in the range of about 4 to 5% and actually stay there for a period of time. Another indicator he wants to take a look at is the unemployment rate. Of course, we've seen already employers have been laying off their employees, and so as unemployment continues, he is predicting about a 10% unemployment rate, to where eventually the Fed will begin to not want to make the economy even worse from there. And of course, we also have to consider that midterm elections is going to happen again in November of this year. When we begin to see about an interest rate stabilizing at around 45% and unemployment rates about 10%, and when midterm elections come around in November, is when Garth believes that we may begin to see Bitcoin begin to rally again. So now that we've talked about what might happen to Bitcoin, what about all of the other altcoins? So what Gareth Soloway believes is that Ethereum will survive and stick around. He is still bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but with all of these other altcoins, there's still a lot of things to be determined. So far has been no regulation with altcoins. The use cases for altcoins is still questionable, and also there's no insurance for the consumer as far as FDIC insurance. And on top of that, the government has still been undecided of how to actually classify these altcoins, if they're going to be a security or a commodity or so on and so forth. So there's still a lot to be determined, and we're unsure of which altcoins are still going to survive this looming recession and still stick around. And so again, Garth is still very bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those are the 2 safe bets, and all of these other altcoins, there's still a lot left to be determined, which makes it a very risky thing to enter into. I hope you appreciated the very condensed and concise information that was given in this video. I'm going to be doing the same thing for other crypto analyzers and talking about what they believe is going to happen to Bitcoin within the next couple of months. And so if you appreciate it, definitely hit that thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel for more videos like these. All right, guys, my name is Jim Invest, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.